Arról is tájékoztatnom kell az országgyűlést,
Colleagues, I also need to inform the Parliament that unprecedented in our country's history, in an unprecedented manner, our eastern neighbor, Ukraine, which is at war, has been blocking oil deliveries via the Friendship oil pipeline since January 27th. I report to the esteemed House that the government has examined the situation and determined that there is no technical obstacle to restarting deliveries. It depends on Ukraine's decision whether they will restart, whether to resume the operation of the pipeline or not. It is becoming increasingly clear that this is open political blackmail. It is well known that relations between Hungary and Ukraine have reached a low point. Diplomatic relations. The Ukrainians demand that Hungary detach itself from Russian energy, give money to Ukraine, and support Ukraine's European Union membership. Moreover, the Ukrainians openly threaten the Hungarian government and its leaders personally. I inform the esteemed House that the national government does not yield to any blackmail. The national government will not deviate from its program under any threat and acts according to its constitutional oath. It acts solely in the interests of the Hungarian people and does not yield to the demands of any foreign power. We are committed to our independence and sovereignty, and we are also committed to our rights. What Ukraine is now doing is an open violation of the agreement. We do not accept this and insist on our rights. Honorable House, Mr. President, Brussels' behavior in the matter is at least ambiguous. Article 222 of the Treaty on the European Union obliges the European Union to assist a member state that has suffered an infringement of interests by a third party. Come to the aid of a member state. It would be Brussels' duty to stand by Hungary, but it does not. The facts show that Brussels is against the member state Hungary, instead sides with Ukraine outside the Union. Esteemed House, it is well known that Hungary and Brussels have differing positions on the matter of the war and the financing of Ukraine, and are also opposed regarding Ukraine's European Union membership. Yet, in the current situation, Brussels should represent Hungary's interests. The fact that it doesn't is a serious breach of contract to Hungary's detriment. In light of the facts, Mr. President, I must say that Brussels has allied with the Ukrainians. Brussels and Kiev agree that as long as there is a national government leading Hungary, they are unable to execute their plans. They cannot disconnect us from Russian energy carriers. We do not support Ukraine's accession to the European Union. We do not pay Ukraine, and we say no to the war. Esteemed House, all of this is happening 50 days before the election. Thus, this action is an open intervention in the Hungarian elections. I have reason to assume that its goal is to modify the balance of power according to the intentions of Brussels and Kyiv. But I would like to remind everyone that in this matter, it will be the Hungarian people who will decide. Anyone who claims that the reduction of utility costs is sustainable without Russian energy is either a fool or lying. Honorable House, the government has also decided on countermeasures. With Slovakia, in consultation, we have halted diesel shipments to Ukraine. Furthermore, the government has vetoed Ukraine's previous initiative without Hungary's participation. The disbursement of 90 billion euros, previously adjudged without burdening us, has been blocked, and the government has decided to veto the 20th war sanctions package, pending approval in Brussels today as well. Today in Brussels, we announced that as long as Ukraine does not allow Russian oil to pass to Hungary, we will block every Brussels decision supporting Ukraine. The Commission presented its strategy to the prime ministers, according to which the Russians can still bear the burdens of the war, but not for much longer. They will be economically shaken, says the Commission, and will be forced to accept a peace favorable to Ukraine and the European Union. According to Brussels, as they openly say, the war must continue because this is how victory can be achieved, and thus a favorable peace can be obtained. Honorable House, according to the conviction of the Hungarian government, this war is strategically mistaken. To our knowledge, no facts support the Brussels war strategy. We consider that Russia is capable of operating its war economy and machinery for years to come. We believe that Ukraine and Europe will run out of military supplies sooner. Sooner will they run out of money and replenishable manpower than Russia. Moreover, Russia possesses nuclear military assets, and there is no answer to the question of how it can be defeated, of defeating a nuclear power. Dear fellow representatives, Europe cannot financially sustain this war. It will collapse and become deeply indebted for decades.